Citizens speak out. People continue to gather in countries that include Algeria, Egypt, Greece, Libya, Palestine, Syria, United Kingdom, United States, and Yemen, as they call for social and political change that brings improved living conditions and greater basic freedoms for themselves and fellow countrypersons.
United Kingdom and United States. As details continue to emerge from a phone hacking scandal involving journalists working for UK-based News of the World, media entrepreneur Rupert Murdoch, whose corporation owned the now-closed newspaper, has withdrawn a bid to assume complete control of the satellite network British Sky Broadcasting, or BSkyB.
Meanwhile, several U.S. legislators have called for a government probe to see if News of the World reporters also violated the privacy of U.S. citizens, as allegations emerged that they may have hacked into victims' voicemails during the September 11th tragedy in 2001.
Greece and Palestine. Iran-based PressTV reports that pro-Palestinian activists from various countries gathered in Athens, Greece on Wednesday, July 13th to protest the government's ban on the departure of 10 ships docked in Greek ports that are part of the Freedom Flotilla II, whose mission is to deliver humanitarian aid to Gaza and to end Israel's 5-year naval blockade of the Palestinian territory.
Egypt. On Wednesday, in response to activists' demands for greater accountability, the Interior Ministry announced the firing of 669 senior police officers charged in the deaths of protesters during the country's pro-democracy revolution. The interim government also stated that parliamentary elections scheduled for September would be delayed by approximately 1 month to give emerging new political parties more time to prepare for the elections.
Algeria. Maghribia news agency reports that the government has made efforts to address recent unrest by detaining 15 military personnel pending a military trial for the recent killing of Mr. Mustafa Dial. Mr. Dial's death, which reportedly came as the army was pursuing other suspects, brought anger in his Kabyle community, with sit-ins and a march from fellow citizens as they demanded the truth, as well as trials for the perpetrators and compensation for the victim's family.
Syria. A 2-day national dialogue hosted by the Syrian government in response to the unrest was extended to Tuesday, as participants discussed reforms necessary for a multi-party government. The decision to extend the meeting was made without input from activist leaders, many of whom boycotted the meeting due to the government's continued violence against pro-democracy protesters and other citizens.
Yemen. According to witnesses, at least 5 citizens are dead and 18 more injured from heavy shelling due to air raids by government forces in a region just north of the capital Sana'a that began Monday. However, the government states that those killed were illegally armed tribesmen.
With the deep sympathies for the loss of fellow human lives, as well as for the displaced and injured, we pray that all conflict cease and that people in nations across the globe may decide to live in dignity, freedom and peace.